Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a quick overview of the terrain in Roblox Studio. Now, I don't know, my video is a little outranked now. I'm not too sure. But we'll bear with it. The audio's good. The audio's good. Now the video is not good. So, you want to build terrain on your map. There's a couple of ways you can do it. So the first way to do it, you can just say generate. And you can give a size that you want to generate the terrain. Okay? You can just say, okay, here's my XYZ. You know, I want it to be however big, right? Let's say, I don't know how big that is. Fairly large. What is it? It's below the map. Below the thing. The base plate. Okay, so we could do something like that, right? And then you can select different types of biomes. Let's just say these three biomes. Let's just say mountains. Let's just select one type of biome, okay? And then you can click generate. And then it'll generate a neat piece of land for you. And that's cool. And that's cool. And you say, oh, that's cool. Okay. So then if you want to modify this yourself, you then have to add to it. Add mountains, add hills. And I mean, this is okay, but so we'll just go over the pros and the cons of this. So the pro of this is it's pre-decorated and it's random. So you don't necessarily have to fix it very much. You know what I mean? What I don't like is we chose mountains and it was flat. Even though the thickness of the terrain wasn't very deep, it shows, I mean, this isn't very mountainous. Like, this is pretty flat. The other thing is it gave us lava, it gave us rocks, it gave us water. As you can see, it's different, you know, it's not like one chunk of land, it's a hollow and all that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, so that's one way of doing it, and then you can modify the terrain, you can sculpt it, you can do all kinds of stuff to it. So now what I want to do, clear all terrain. The other method, the kind of method that I use, I just kind of like manually draw. So you have here, this is your brush size. You have three brushes. You have a circle. We'll draw. Yeah, let's draw some grass. So you get your circle. Okay, you have your square, your cube, and then you have your cylinder. All right, and then what we have here, this button here. Okay, if you have that on with the line, when you change the size, both of them it scales together. When you change that, then you can scale them individually. Right? You can say, okay, I want the radius to be 45 and I want the height to be 15. Right? Now, in my case, whenever I click the mouse once, it picks it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says I've clicked 7 times. So if I click once, the game tells me I've clicked 7 times. So I have to be careful when I'm building. That's just me. I don't know why. That's just the way it is. Right there, it seemed to work there. There we go. Okay. So what I find when you're working with terrain, okay. Let's just lay out, I don't know, some roads here, right? So what I'll do is I'll lay out my roads, right? Let's say we have a road going this way, and then a road's gonna come down this way, and then it's gonna come across like that, right? So that's our road. Don't worry about the fact that it's off. Well, actually, you know what? Don't worry about the fact that it's off the base plate. We just want it to be one tile high. There we go. We'll just do this. Okay. I don't worry about that because eventually you're going to delete the base plate and you're just going to have the terrain, right? Eventually we're going to get rid of the base plate. So the next thing we want to do is we just want to take some rocks as our base, and then I'll fill this in. So either rocks. In this case, we're going to build a little mountain, and maybe I'll put some farm around it. That's what we'll do. We'll do this. So then we build the rocks. Now, why am I putting down rocks? Well, the terrain, as you can see, it snaps to itself like magic. It doesn't snap to the base plate or other parts very well, but it snaps to itself like magic. Okay, and then maybe we'll do this. We'll have a little thing here, and then maybe from there, it'll come around like this. Right, and so what we'll do is we'll take grass. All right, you see how easily the grass is snapping to the road? It's almost like magic. You know, it's almost like magic, right? And then we can do that here. You know, and then if we want to, we can say, okay, well, maybe around the outside of the road. Whoops. Oh, oops. That sucked. Yeah, so that happens too. Sometimes you come in and you just have to be careful. It's hard with a mouse. If I had a stylus, I think, for this, it would be a lot easier for drawing the terrain out. But this is just a quick tutorial. Just a real rough tutorial. You know. Right, so we have that. Maybe we'll go to the toolbox and we need a tree. And then we'll just get like a pine tree maybe. Yeah, there we go. And then, you know, maybe like that. All right, and now you have a thin bit of terrain. The size, so that's the other thing too, that when you generate the terrain like that, the size of it is huge. It's massive because it has all that unnecessary, the unnecessary thickness to it, and you have unnecessary objects like the lava, which nobody's gonna see. So in this case, it's just grass now. We have some grass, we have some concrete for our path, and we have right. So the file size is small, and it's gonna be really easy to update, and it's gonna be really easy to to do all that stuff that you want to do with, right? We can do that, and then, I don't know, maybe just back to toolhouse, maybe there's a house. I don't know. What do we got here? Small house. Right? Okay, and then maybe it's a farm. So what we do is we insert a part, and then what I do is for that, I just scale it, right? Like this. And then we'll just color it. View, properties, explore. There we go. And then home and move. And then maybe we'll rotate this like that. And maybe it's a small field, you know. And we'll duplicate that because perhaps there's no vehicles in this game. Perhaps this is just a walking game. And then we'll rotate this like that. Yeah, so you kind of get the idea, right? So now we sort of have a house, and we sort of have, you know, that's kind of the idea with the terrain. It's nice and thin. So then you say, okay, well, I want a mountain. I want to have a big hill somewhere. Well, what's the best method? Now, I like using the cylinder. I really do. It just seems to be really good, right? And then we can say, okay, so there's our mountain. Then what I do is I switch over to the circle, and I go to ground, and you make this thing about, yeah, you can stay under 10, within 10, and you see how big that is? So then we'll come out to about there. This is good for, like, if you want to, you know, if you're quickly trying to build it up, same thing. You can use the cylinder to change the height of it. The cylinder is really good as well. It's got a lot more, as you can see, it's got a lot more control over the terrain placement. And then, we'll just fill this in. You'll see, it looks kind of rough, but you'll see, we'll blend it out here. Okay, and then maybe, maybe that comes in like that, right? And then we can make it wider, and we can turn the height down. We can go right down, actually. And we can say it's a 12. That's weird. Why is it? Oh, because of the mouse. Right? So we can do something like that. Bring it in. And that sort of adds a little bit of depth to it. Oh boy. You see, the terrain placement is not really, it's not really the greatest. So we have to end up going back into it with a brush size at about 1, and just kind of just blending it in, right? Okay. If you want, you can change that. We could even a little bit easier placement. Here where it's a cliff, maybe we put in some rocks. We could even go with some different colored rocks. That, again, as you can see, the circle is really... You can do this here. Yeah, that's pretty much all you're doing, is you're just kind of going over some accents. So it doesn't look, it looks a little more natural. That's all you're trying to do. You're just sort of going over it. Right? Maybe we want some more grass here. That doesn't actually look too bad. Now that we've sort of cleaned it up a little bit, it doesn't actually look too bad. Yeah, now, I mean, and this could be anything. Like, you could go in there with a glacier if you wanted to now, right? And you could add that to the top here. Maybe a little bit of snow on top, And then maybe there's some water. Maybe there's a waterfall here. So with the water, you can do this. And then I would recommend putting in like a particle emitter in there too, just to give it kind of like a mist, that sort of mist effect. Right, there you go. Then we go back to the toolbox and we can look up tree again, and let's see if we can find something a little more. See how that looks. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. And just kind of spread out the trees. Maybe you want to put some shrubs in there, some bush, whatever. Duplicate that. There, now we've kind of created something neat. Right, maybe there's a couple of these trees on it here. And then these trees here will just spread out around the map. And now for any of these little gaps, you can fill those in with whatever you want, gravel or grass. Myself, I would probably go use a little bit of water, to be honest. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, you see how it doesn't like to stick to the base plate? But if you drag it over the other terrain, it's so easy to work with. Just like that, right? And then maybe it just know, water just kind of pooling up. I mean, it's, you know, whatever kind of game this would be. I have no idea. We could make it into a little game. This is how they start, right? This is how they start. So finish here. Yeah, there we go. So now we sort of have like a little forest area, another area, and then that's it. That's it. That's what we built. Okay? That could be the start of a really fun game. You could hide stuff there. It could be an exploration game. Maybe you have to climb up the mountain. There could be rewards. But that's just, I just sort of wanted to just kind of go over just the terrain. And when you add the elements together, I know there's probably a lot of videos about how to do terrain. Yeah, when you add the elements together, you can get some really neat effects. And I just wanted to show that, you know, rather than generating a chunk of terrain and building off of it, if you start with a base plate and build off the base plate, it seems like you have an easier time and you have more control over the type of terrain that you can build and design. Yeah, so thank you guys so much, for watching. Yeah, that's just a quick terrain video. There will be an update video. Here, you know what? Well, let's just do that right now. Let's go open from Roblox. I'll do an update video on the other map, the game that's going to be coming out. This will be probably mid-January. I will be putting out some videos when I start to add code for this one. Just like I did in Project Alpha, I updated Project Alpha a little bit. Like I said I would. I will be putting up updates for the other games too. But yeah, so when I design the interface and I start adding the code, what I'll do is I'll throw up some videos how to get started, where to go, because that'll go over adding commands and stuff, and that's where you can add your administrator commands, all that sort of stuff, and blah blah blah, right? Your whitelist for banning people. Yeah, so this is the map. Just give it a minute to load the trees. It is not done. I've been working on this for a while. Here, if I close out this one here, I won't save that one because that's just a quick little demo. Maybe it'll load. Anyhow, yeah. So basically, we have city, right? And there's a couple of towns, and then we have this is just going to be like a distribution center. And there we go. There goes the trees. And then we have our oil, which I'm still obviously building. There's going to be a little bit more of the facility there to fill up your vehicles and that. And then the caddies. Hey, what's up, Bim? He's looking at me. I gotta have to go. Yeah, and then the mountains. So what I did, I'm gonna take the logging feature that I added into Project Alpha, and we're gonna be able to do logging in this area here on this map. I'm gonna expand on that because I thought that would be really cool. We'll add the fishing in here. This is going to be, you'll be able to purchase cabins, like a remote cabin in here. I'm going to add a helicopter because I have one now that works. And you'll be able to fly in and do some whatever, right? So yeah, so that's pretty much where this one's at. It's going to be a lot more to the game. And I guess the basic concept is again, you'll be able to purchase. These are the areas that supply the map. So you'll be able to purchase these supply areas. You know, so let's say, for example, you're running fuel to the gas stations, to the areas on the map that need it, and you're purchasing fuel from here. You can then purchase the hub, and then all the fuel you purchase, that money just goes right back into your bank account, basically. So it's not costing you anything. So I think that'll be cool. But anyway, as you can see, there's still a lot to do. I was designing this, so now I need to design this. It's going to be farmland, obviously. Then this will be the logging area, and then this will be more of the city over here, and then agriculture over here. The food plant will be over here, and then something else over here, maybe furniture and goods distribution will come from this side of the map, and you'll have to drive all the way over here to this side of the map. Why not, right? Why not? Yeah, so it's coming along. And like I say, when I start to add the code, there's no code in here now in the game. It's just terrain. But when I go to add the code, I'll put out a tutorial how to start, how to organize it, right? Get your functions set up, and then you can just pretty much, the sky's the limit from there. Yeah. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. And I will see you all in the next one.